hi, and welcome to the Mr. Arsenal podcast. Your eyes don't deceive you. I am not Ryan. I am the caretaker, Mr. Tom. Obviously, Ryan is going through a difficult period, and he essentially asked me to carry the stream for the evening. I hope you can all tolerate that. If you can't, I don't know what to tell you. We did have comments though already in. Russ Morgan, evening everyone, and yeah, basically I'm a host for hire, it seems. But yeah, how you doing, Russ? I'm guessing you're still in a place that's not your home, basically for the half term. So are you back? Are you available for the evening of the wrestling? Yeah, I'm guessing not, but if you are, I'll still pop you the link for it. Anyway. Hello to Riddy, one of my main men, the football manager man. How are you doing, sir? We had Guna gathering with big up guys, best wishes for Ryan. I'm sure he'll see this. If not, I'll tell him you send him your wishes. And our main man for all things Arsenal. Hi. Under 18 result was Southampton under 18s 2. Arsenal 2. Is that? I thought you won 4-2 against them, or is that the under 21s? Apologies. As you can tell, I might not be an Arsenal fan, but still. Anyway. Russ Morgan, I'm back, mate. We'll join for now. So I'll pop you the link anyway at some point. It may have to be in the 5-minute window between me doing this and doing the Full Nelson podcast stream. But anyway. So we are, I believe we are here. What's that say? Oh, match of the day, Premier League. There's a Premier League. When they change it. Anyway. Yeah. So it's the 17th of February, 2024. Apparently it's a watch-along in HD. God, I hope not. Can't you see how long I've not shaved for? Anyway, so that being said. Okay, fair enough. It was the under 18. I must have been mistaken. Did you under 21s play Southampton? I got Southampton on my brain, obviously, because of the rivalry that's budding for my own team. Anyway. So, not too bad, thanks. Another excellent weekend for the Arsenal. I'm sure you've had worse weeks in football, Riddy. I'm sure. I say that. I now can't pretend that I don't know the score. But I clearly don't know the score. BX Gunner, my main man, is also here in the house. How are you doing, sir? Anyway, under 21s 4-2. Excellent. Really is doing Football Manager, currently playing Czech second division. Why not? I'm playing in Gibraltar still. So, well, I'm not playing, obviously. I mean, you can tell I've got the fat ass to show it, but Football Manager in there. I'm watching through the BBC iPlayer, so I might be slightly behind some of you when you're watching it. That being said, I'm now currently watching a thing about the post office. Well, I'm not. They're making me. It's there. Oh, Arnie's turned up. Oh, it's an advert for BBC Breakfast. That explains it. Yeah, so anyway. So, is there any football news that I'm currently unaware of? I mean, you're all the Premier League fans, so it's kind of on you to make me aware of it, because I can pretend I don't, but, I play here as well, thank you very much, that's cool. They're doing an advert for the Traitors. I enjoyed that show, and I shouldn't admit that, being a male and that being reality TV and that, but still, guilty pleasure of mine. It was a good show. Does anyone know what the first match is going to be? Because Ryan I did kindly make me some banners for it, but I don't know if they're in order. Obviously, that's not the main important thing. But I was just curious if he had done them in order. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, so we are about to start match of the day, I believe. I mean, that's why we're here, right? So. Oh, that's a banner. I thought I was going to. Oh, yeah, it doesn't say ticker next to it. Sorry, just giving away the secrets of StreamYard. No injuries from today's match. I'm guessing you mean the Arsenal. I think they're going to start with Liverpool. Do they say what the order's going to be during the intro? I'm really exposing myself as a massive novice for match of the day, but to be fair, I've not watched it for about 8 months clearly. So it's not true. I have watched it, but it's usually when Ryan starts his stream, and then I'll put it on, so I don't. You know what I mean? I'm not usually into match of the day before it starts. I usually join after like the first match or something. But anyway, didn't expect Chelsea to take points off City tonight. No, I didn't either. I had that down for a 3-1 to I forget what they call it. Manchester City. How do you forget that? The greatest club side in the world currently, probably. In footballing terms, obviously, business wise, they're clearly a bit of shambles. I mean, cheating wise, not. You know what I mean. Obviously, they've got money hand over fist, but they're not necessarily supposed to. But anyway, awkward. Well, it's not like they did cheat, didn't they? But so that being said, we are starting with Liverpool. So they've gone Nunes Diaz up front, and yeah. Michael Oliver is the referee. I don't know if that's relevant to anything, but he is the ref. Liverpool playing in a purple kit, I think, unless I'm one colourblind. Who the hell is Flecking? Made a good save though. Brentford attacking, Tony. Oh, that's a key miss. You can't miss like that against a team like Liverpool. You need to like score your opportunity. Silly. And I'm pretty sure what usually happens after that is you get punished. No, you don't get punished. You then get to go 1-on-1. And he missed that too. So, excuse me. I don't know what to tell you there because Brentford should be in front. I mean, we know they're not. They don't, and they don't win. But sorry, spoiler. I mean, it is. It's like 5 hours after it happened. But anyway, really says Liverpool squad starting to get stretched by injuries and workload. I suppose that's true. See what happens when your European campaigns recommence, maybe. Because although you will, in theory, be playing more difficult teams, Arsenal, I mean, the reality is they will probably end up going to some more difficult places to go to in terms of like the travel and things like that. I could be entirely wrong. I'm just riffing it, but you tend not to get the in the latter stages, or not the latter stages, the the middle stages. I'd say like the early knockout rounds. You end up getting. Liverpool scored. Fancy that. But anyway, but you end up getting some difficult trips to Eastern Europe. Let's just say, which you tend to avoid at this stage of the Champions League, with respect to those teams. Um, Alex Guittari is here. Welcome, sir. How you doing? So, although we're watching Liverpool, what without even like seeing the highlights, or I'm guessing most of you have actually seen the Arsenal game. What are your initial thoughts on what happened at Turf Moor? Uh, Russ Morgan, the official referees liaison with Liv Varpool, still going strong, could go to the wire. It really could. I mean, don't get me wrong. With respect, I still think it's City's to lose, but at the end of the day, if you keep winning matches, then you're going to prove a lot of people wrong, aren't you? First time Arsenal scored back to 5 goals back to back in your history. That's true, because my team, for the first time in our history, won 8 league games in a row. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, yeah. Not that I'm bragging, but more on that tomorrow on the We All Love League show. I mean, here's what it is, isn't it? I'm good. How about you? Oh, it means me. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm like I should have done that. I should have done it in the order it was written, because then I would have been like, I'm amazing because blah blah blah, and then I could have gone into what we did today, and then the back to back goals and stuff. So yeah, yeah, yeah. But no, no, no. Obviously, I'm fairly neutral when it comes to your team, but by by the same respect, I mean, what's to say? You teams don't win 5-0 by accident, and they don't win five. Teams tend to. When do you ever hear of a team winning 5-0 and the other team going, "Oh, they got a bit fortunate" or whatever? Like, doesn't happen. 5-0's 5-0. But uh, Emerson with good all-round performance. Sounds like it'd be true. Um, I wonder how many shots I'm going to see Burnley get in these highlights. Just out of interest. I mean, I don't know their shot count. Oh, they might have none. I doubt that. I don't know. It's still the Premier League after all. But I'm sure Emerson already knows how many shots they ended up with. So he's probably laughing at me right now going, huh, you think they're going to get a shot? But anyway. Someone called the authorities. I think there's been a mauling. Yeah, yeah. Sounds that way. Uh, haven't seen us be so comfortable away. Another game where Raya was largely a spectacle. There was something that did make me laugh. There was a meme on the internet where most people watching know me know I do enjoy a meme, and it was one where someone had asked a question on social media, and I quote this: "Apart from saves, what does Allison have that Raya doesn't?" To which obviously, I was well, you missed 2 chances, mate. Ivan Toney's just scored. Um, But obviously, apart from saves, I mean, that's pretty much the main metric for a goalkeeper that he should be judged on, I'd imagine. But yeah, saying that, I imagine he was a spectator today, mauling by Team Wolf. Yeah. Wait, who's Team Wolf in this situation? Which of your players is nicknamed Team Wolf? Sam Greenwood is here. Amazing. Good to see you. Amazing how quiet Russ has been about referees since we've been winning games by 11 goals. Right, you have scored 11 in the last 7 days, so will allow it to stand on this occasion. And Arsenal have the fewest yellow and red cards in the league. Hmm. Agenda? What agenda? You're scoring goals hand over fist, and you're not getting punished by refs. Is it 2000 and what world is this? Ryan's going to watch this back and be like, he's not pushing the referee agenda against Arsenal. I can't have him back. I can't even have him as a guest. He's not that whiny. He's really not. Stop trying to bait me, Samuel. And ha ha. Anyway, Thomas Frank with God, I don't like this man. It goes back to the championship. We have previous with Thomas Frank. Don't worry. But anyway, he says, Russ, I love you. Let me gently nibble your left earlobe. That's awfully specific. BX Team Wolf Avatar by yeah. Now you say that, makes sense. Burnley versus Arsenal up next, and it's the first time Arsenal has won 5 games at the start of the year since we were founded. Interesting stuff. This is mainly why I'm sat here, because I don't know this stuff. It's on Alex to tell me about his own club. Don't make me go on Wikipedia. Well, I can't. I'm watching. I'm not going to do it on my laptop either. I could, but I'm not going to. So, anyway, it's, as Gary calls him, Cheddars. Yet, I've never seen anyone else call him it. But hello, Chris Nix. How you doing, sir? Emerson is our channel Siri. Siri, how tall is Mount Everest? And then piss off West Ham Slag. Poor guy. So, which one did he say next? Burnley Arsenal. Okay. You won 5-0? What? No, obviously. But, they're currently just showing me the seeing how Liverpool have carved open Brentford with relative ease, from what I can tell. I don't really expect this from a Thomas Frank side. But anyway, do you need Nketiah? Well, not right now. We scored 9 goals this week. In it, or since last Saturday, 9 goals. Yeah. Finally switched full plastic, and he's just come back from the Etihad. Back. Cool. Now, right now, we're good. Maybe if we get promoted, we could stick Eddie and Ketty up front. I think Somerville and Nonto would gladly accept him as their new mate. Brentford should have had a penalty. It's the Jurgen Klopp farewell. I do agree that there's a bit of a farewell tour vibe to it. Not necessarily sure about the penalty. I never really saw it. I was too busy talking shit to all you. Pardon my language. Apologies. But yeah. That's the Russ we know. And according to the Canterbury Gooner, so it's really important that we stress it's a comment from the Canterbury Gooner on the Mr. Arsenal podcast. He deems that only now is match of the day finally starting. Game time. Yes, Alex. So Arsenal are in their awful, awful yellow and green lime, whatever they describe it as, kit, which even I can see from the darkness of the dungeon. I can't afford my electric bill, bro. But welcome, Power Puncher Bros. It was either turn on the light or turn off the electric. So I had to make my decision. That was a nice goal though for the first goal. Who was it? Mr. Odegaard. He's had a good week as well, hasn't he? Yeah, quite right, Mr. Greenwood. He is. That's carving. He's carved them through. I live in the dark too. I can't stand the light. I don't know why I said it. Like I was Southern American, obviously. Not. Maybe you should have got a goal there, but you didn't. Did you turn off the light like Nelly Furtado? It's dark as Tom doesn't want to see his wenches chained up. I only got Mo Master back there actually. If you know, you know. Sam knows Mo Master. He only banned him from me about 8 times. 8's exaggerating. I think it was twice. If I remember rightly, we sort of sweet talked him to letting Mo Master back in, to which then he immediately went back at Sam. To which I was then threw my hands up and was like, "You on your own, bro." Arsenal's got a penalty. Let's have a look. Is it a penalty? Because he's given a yellow card for it. Hmm. Okay. Bellamy trying to do the young Sean Dyche impression on the touchline. Probably not seen that yet. My what do you call it? The iPlayer, for some reason, it seems to be behind everyone. Weird delay there from Trafford. I said to conspiracy. Wow, roof of the net from Saka. I've just seen 3-0. Question: who's the only player to score for 7 Premier League clubs? Craig Bellamy, possibly. No idea. So Arsenal are having a lot of fun out there, and oh, oh that, that poor boy. You could just feel his ACL snap. Were the Burnley fans leaving? Hello, hello, it's Catherine Flessner in the house. How you doing? Premier League or Champions League? Well, it'd be nice to win the Champions League, I'd imagine, but I'm not holding out much hope for myself. Cool. So, Russ, what is the answer, sir? Who is the only player to score for 7 Premier League clubs? I do think it's Craig Bellamy, though. Nelka. What game today? They were singing again. Who put the ball in the net? Half the team did. It sounds like half your team scored this week. So the answer is Russ as the car park at 10 p.m. There you go. Andy Carroll. I think he's only played for 3 Premier League teams, though. Oh, it is Craig Bellamy. Excellent. For anyone goes, how did you know that, Tom? I was like, well, I got the feeling that when that question came up after the comment, Bellamy tried his best to do the young Sean Dyche impression on the touchline. Might a small chance that might have inspired it. The question, maybe. But I do enjoy your trivia, Russ. As you know, we do love some trivia stuff here, and yeah, so and yeah, good day at the office for the Gooners. If you had to describe today's performance for Arsenal in one word, what word would you use? One word. First time we won 5 games, first 5 games in the new year. Impressive, and wild. I can see why you'd say that. Smiling players, but winning tends to do that. I believe Spencer of Spencer Bronco, who me, can we call it minus one day, maybe. We got the word excellent. Sam would use the word sexual. I'd have been offended if you hadn't used that word, sir. Uh, Arsenal 7 shots on target, Burnley none. That might explain why there were no Burnley shots in the Oh, it's still our company's still wearing the hat. It's still going with the Burnley hat. I think cool. Right, remarkable, very cool. Nice to see Cedric get a run out. He's still employed. He survived the transfer window. I mean, signing wise, like job, employment, like not his life. I mean, his football. I'm sure he's pretty physically fit, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Anyway, Arteta is yeah. All right, I'll give it. You have the right to look a bit smug today. I'll give you that. That's fine. But in all seriousness, I do not. I am here as a courtesy for a friend that had a bereavement in the family, and he still wanted his channel or his channel viewers to still have their match of the day stream. So I thought I'd be the caretaker, Tom, the caretaker, Mr. Tom, and it's like the Undertaker, but a lot worse. But anyway, so Arteta's still talking. Are they asking him for war and peace or something? Bloody hell! Oh, he's talking to Lineker. That makes sense. Which team would you rescue, Burnley or Sheffield United? Really? Hmm. Okay. Burnley. I don't think they either should be rescued from relegation, really, though, because Sheffield United, Burnley, in it. Hmm. According to Emerson Cozier, hang on, was he on his other one earlier? No. He's maintained the same account the whole time. Porto won 2-0. Is the points thing not working today? I have no idea how it works. Or like if you have to actually log in the Streamlabs or anything like that. Just surprised that no one's actually tried. I would have tried instantly. Because I'm a degenerate gambler. But no, seriously, like out of your choice, I'd rescue Burnley. It's working. Cool. You know. Alarm set for 3:30 for the. Is that the? Is that India? Um, India England Test match. Hopefully, I've got that right. But anyway, you can't leave Saka with that. Oh, that's criminal. You can't leave Saka on his own for that long. The third goal. Talking about. Oh, you're doing well. Yep. Thank you, Alex. And yep. Oh. There's a heist afoot. Get your heisting odds in because otherwise BX Gunner will take the entire pot. We've got Mr. 888. He's in. Yes, it's me. On my other account, I used my main one with Ryan is on. See. I think you should switch over, Emerson, really. I think if the you know, the you know what I mean. Like you use your one with like the 20,000 coins or whatever it is you got. Saka's right foot has been quite lethal this season. It was certainly lethal to the roof of the Burnley net in that particular 10 seconds of play. You're a night watchman. I understood that reference. Very cricky. Yeah. Shay Given's alive. Why ain't Alan Shearer on here? What's going on? I'm sure Shay Given's fine. A fine pundit. I'm sure it's fine. Just not used to it. It's weird when it's not Shearer and Wrighty. He scored a similar goal at Ellen Road last season, I remember. Oh, why you got to bring up torture like that? And that only happened because Rodrigo played like the worst crossfield pass ever known to man. It was like your only shot on goal in that game as well. I mean, that's probably not true, but you know what I mean. The entire crew. Congratulations to Russ Morgan, Mr. 888, and BX Gunner, the 2000 man. Well done. Apologies, gentlemen, but Arsenal have been removed from Match of the Day, and we are now Chelsea travelling to the Etihad. If you could pick any Big Six club to get relegated, which team would it be? Strangely, I suspect Manchester United would be the one that I pick. I don't know why. It just is. It just is. Leaving it till Wednesday to use my other main account. See. Tom Stream on Match of the Day. If you rang in saying Leeds highlights, please. Well, in the Championship, you get on YouTube within. To be honest, I think the Leeds highlights went up before the Arsenal match had even finished, due to the 12 o'clock start. It's alright. I knew what you meant, peanut butter, and well, thank you for that, Alex. It's probably not aimed at me, but anyway, on behalf of someone. Chelsea on the attack here, so that should have been goal. There's still something weird about Pochettino in the Chelsea, like giant Chelsea coat. It just doesn't feel right. There's still something very Spursy about him. I'm sure he's a lovely man. That was a nice finish from Raheem Sterling, give him his due. But of course, why didn't I pick him as the former Man City player to score? I had Cole Palmer down. That's very silly of me. Hopefully one day we'll get that elusive 7-all draw. Colonel, that nothing would please me more than seeing a 7-7 draw. Just wonderful. Wonderful stuff. History of United stealing your fantastic players. It's for you, Mr. Tom. That's very kind of you. That's very kind. Thank you, sir. He's only waiting for Spurs Wolves. Don't really blame you. I'm sure it'd be a lot of fun. And Russ Morgan, he went for it. He gambled 4,500. He rolled a 65, which we all know means double his money. Double his money. Welcome to the 40,000 club, sir. It's not a real club. There's no meetings or anything. To be fair, Alex, I could probably create an arbitrary reason to why I hate any club. Don't tell Rush yet, but I got him a tour of Stockley Park for his birthday. That's amazing. And Mile High Club, yeah, sure. And Chris Nix's 13,341. Ryan's probably going to say to me, "Why do you keep showing all their points?" He's not watching like Side Hawk. Like, why are you showing all their points? You're encouraging the gambling. Yeah, I totally am. Right. Do you enjoy Match of the Day more with Leeds, or I'd be able to enjoy it, watch it freely all week? I'll put it this way: I in the first year Leeds were in the Premier League, I watched Match of the Day quite often. In the second and third year, I watched it less frequently. Can you have a guess why? It's not going to let you gamble it all, Mr. Chris. I think you have to leave a coin. It won't let you go down to 0. The difference between Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City is so tight. Although 2 points between the 3 teams. That's going to get quite spicy. Oh, now he's gambling. We'll just see what happens. Or is there a limit on it? The most I personally did on the gamble was 6,000. So I don't know what if it only got up to 10 or whatever. Try 10, yeah, as Russ said. Try 10,000, see if it'll let you. The gamble feature is actually quite generous from what I've seen. Not that I want to encourage you to give away 10,000 in fake money, but anyway. Colonel says we won't win it because City, Tottenham, Chelsea. Elaborate further, Mr. Colonel. It might be a good time to gamble 3,441. I'm not sure. No, actually, I give you make you wait 5 minutes anyway. City play midweek, their game in hand makes sense, and City play Brent. Is that because of the game that was meant to happen when they were in the World Club Championship? Panic, I'm gonna lose my job. What was your job? Holding fake internet coins for the mafia. Arsenal winning the league, we still have 6 clubs to play that hate us. How do you think I feel when my team has to play in leagues where like 20 of the 22 or 20 of the 24 clubs hate us? Yep. That should have been our ball. Pep interviews when they don't win are always fascinating. It's the true measure. It's the true measure of a football manager when things don't go well, and they behave like a pillock. Oh, I don't think he saw him do anything really silly there. But anyway. It's heist time again. Let's see if this works. I'm not going to spend his points. I'm definitely not going to spend his points. He hasn't got any. I do, in that because we're playing well and our form is good. But it'd probably be best if you asked me on Saturday, the day after we play Leicester, because we play Leicester on Friday night. If we win that, then I'll be highly confident of it. But we'll see how it goes. It actually kind of depends on, because Southampton play their game in hand on sometime next week. They play Hull. Hull are doing all right. They got a 94th minute winner today. So yeah, no problem. Lee's love sloppy seconds. Well, not the only one. Are you doing your? Yeah, they play Hull. They've played one game less than Leeds currently. So, but they have to win it, otherwise their advantage is gone. Mr. Cozier, what is my OE? Who's been the best player in the championship this year? Excusing Leicester players. Really? Oh no, I'm not. I'm not. I prefer to just watch the game. Um, which I wouldn't, because like with respect, I've barely watched any of this match of the day because I've been answering all your questions and comments. So I'm not got a problem with. I'm just saying that's probably why I wouldn't do a Leeds watch along. Leeds are the masters of the championship. Thank you very much. But no, I generally think Somerville is one of the best players in the championship. But obviously, I'm biased because he plays for my team. Ultimately, it's probably going to be a Leicester player that has it because they've had such a gap the entire way through. What, how many? Oh yeah, from Campbell. Anyway, yeah. So excuse me. I mean, Blackburn have got a player that's scored like 20 goals. Problem is the rest of the team are not very good. I think his name is Sammy Smodix. Might have the name wrong there. Excuse me. You started watching Football League highlights. Wait till you see Wilfried Donto's goal today. It's not bad. Not bad at all. Jamie Vardy. I think Jamie Vardy is a useful option for Leicester to bring on at the end of games because although he doesn't have the legs anymore, he obviously knows where the goal is based on the fact that he scored today. It weren't enough for him, but generally he does chip in. Especially in the Championship, he's going to look really good, isn't he? But Josh Sargent for Norwich, I've seen a lot of people 50-50 on him. Hello, Brownie. How you doing, sir? Walker Peters, he's been doing quite well for Southampton. He has done well. Willie went silly. You should see some of the things that his Twitter account puts out when he scores goals. One of the tweets had about 2.5 million views because of what they said. And that was on Tuesday night, so it's probably even got even more by now. But anyway, between the Dutch League and the Championship, do you think there's a massive difference in football, including SPL? It's hard to say because, like, do I think Leeds could beat PSV Eindhoven? Probably not, because obviously they're in a competition like the Champions League where they can afford to bring in a caliber of player that would obviously be on his way to getting Premier League moves or things like that. Do I think the worst team in the Championship could beat the worst team in the Dutch League? Possibly. Well, there you go. And yet that money is still nothing because most of those teams come up into the Premier League and you see what happens. So Brownie, you put that. Why is it, do you think then, that a Dutch team, like, is it Champions League money and then the rest of the league are poor? As such, if you get what I mean. Vardy could still do it in the Premier League, I reckon, as impacts up. You know, it's possibly true, Russ. You could well be right. He's certainly an impact sub in the Championship. It's mad how Fulham in the Championship could loan Anguissa to Napoli, who played in the Champions League. I think it's mad that they took him back. Actually, I can't remember if they took him back. Dutch TV revenue is the same as the Scottish Premier League. If I was the Dutch league, then I'd want to know why we're getting ripped off, because obviously that standard of football is so much higher than the Scottish Premier League. I don't think I'm unfair in saying. Oh, I need to do the banner stuff, don't I? What did you make of Cardiff today, Brownie? Seeing as you're here. Okay, cool. Russ Morgan has turned 4,500 into 9,000, and he has now got 46,504. Massive mismanagement at Championship Scottish level for the Dutch league to be more successful in Europe. Yeah, I can do if you want. Down the lane game is on. Tom, should Leeds get promoted, what signings are needed to stay up? I think we'd need a striker, personally. We'll need a new defenders. We, without question, would need to get Joe Rodon on a permanent signing, which I believe he is more than willing to do, provided we do get promotion. Would probably need a central midfielder. Although our current midfield is really good. Like, I'm happy with I'm happy with most of the team, but the reality is it'd be very naive to think that 11 can, just based on beating Plymouth, that 11 would be able to win at Anfield again. But anyway, what's the Twitter tag? I mean, I can just put it in here, Brownie. Just save some time. But before I do that, just put this in that at midnight I'm going live again on a live watch along of WWE Survivor Series 2002. That's the thumbnail made for it. But anyway. So yeah, that'll be at midnight. Hey Spencer, how you doing? Okay. There you go. If you want to come on, Brownie. Or anyone else. Russ is going... Oh, hang on. Colonel Waldnisco Hospital, tonsillitis again. Oh, it doesn't sound nice. It sounds sore, doesn't it? He's going for the heist. He's going for 888. Mr. 888 again. Ask him about Saka and heist fight. Right, okay. Allow me to do the introduction. Bum, bum. No, you can't do Lord Greenwood thing. That's Lord Greenwood's thing. It's football with Brownie, live from Cardiff. I don't know if he's actually in Cardiff, but I know he supports Cardiff.
Hi, mate. How are you? How's everybody? And to be honest, Tom, it's the first time we've actually been on a show together. So good to finally cross paths, I think.
That's very kind of you to say, of course.
I'm intrigued what pack of crisps you're going to be opening up later.
I actually have prawn balls later with some sweet and sour sauce, and it'll be delicious.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. No, I just thought I'd pop on. I've only just seen Ryan's message as well. So condolences to Ryan and his family regarding the family bereavement, and hope everything's. But I think you guys are ahead of me. I think you guys are ahead of with regarding the match of the day.
I'm on iPlayer and I'm currently just watching Wolves scored their second goal.
Okay, well,
So,
I'm ahead of you and slightly.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair
No
enough.
worries. But anyway, yeah, Cardiff. They went. It was fucking terrible, mate. To be honest, I would say, the old phrase of "you pay peanuts to get monkeys." Well, that's not even the case with Cardiff, because after the announcement of how much wages we pay the sixth most in a league. I think we're 14th or 15th now. Just again, as I mentioned it in a chat about the Dutch league and comparing it to Championship and Scottish league. It's just, people would not believe how much mismanagement goes on within the world of football, financial mismanagement. And especially at Championship level, yourself. Briefly talking about it on another channel last night. People take over Championship clubs and they gamblers. They proper gamblers, right?
Totally do that.
And if a gamble doesn't come good, that's the plus point of FFP and ownership tests, because not many people would know. Had Villa not won a playoff final, they would have went bust.
Yeah,
we all know what happened to Derby after they lost the playoff final. Sheffield Wednesday, that chairman gambled, and look at the state of them now. It's a casino league, a Championship, and in that respect, that's why the winnings are so high, but yet the losses can be so bad as well. It's and I think that's why you mentioned about TV money. I think TV money for a Championship is 150 million. I only know this simply because it came up in the Price of Football podcast a couple of days ago. And Kieran Maguire was saying it's 70 million for the Dutch league, 70 million for the Scottish league. It's 150 million for the Championship.
Spurs highlights. They're going through it, Russ. Sorry, Brownie.
No worries.
Just they're going through the replays.
The Championship is the fifth most highest watched league in the world.
Yeah. Well, you got big teams in there. You got former Premier League giants as such.
Yeah.
And Sunderland.
But and Sunderland, yeah, and Swansea, yeah. Unfortunately,
but, yeah.
Did you see my post the other day? Valentine's Day in Swansea, and it's a card section for wives and sisters.
Oh, Brownie, it doesn't surprise me at all coming from you, sir. The Saudi league is the biggest too. In spend, yeah, possibly. I mean, I'm sure their TV deal is massive as well when they pay themselves for it.
I used to watch a bit of Saudi football. During my incarceration, and fucking terrible, to be honest. The standard was. I predicted this right from the start. But you watch, Saudi will go same way the Chinese league will go. Give it a couple of years, same. And why? Because Saudi already know that the money is in the Champions League, and they already trying to get Saudi into the Champions League. Yeah. Which you never know with FIFA and UEFA nowadays. They did have, years ago they did have, principles, but when it comes to money, Saudi money especially, you never know what they will accept nowadays.
No, it's true. They've obviously got to do something.
You tell me Leeds. They won today. I did put them on a coupon as well down at Home Park. going well for you guys, but the 2 automatic places could be a worry for you, yeah?
It's going to be the reality is that if we win every game remaining, we will get promoted. But Southampton will say the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Because we play each other on the final day. And the gap is
you know
currently
what?
2 points.
You know what? In my opinion, being a supporter of a championship club for we were championship level for many years, had highs and lows of the playoffs, lost in the final against Blackpool. I've never felt so bad after a football game in my life. But in my experience, whoever finishes third out of those 3 teams could well be so disheartened going into the playoffs that they may not be focused enough to get through the playoffs.
This is the thing. I always had the same belief, but then apparently the team that finishes 6th hasn't got promoted through it for about 13 years or something like this.
Yeah, 10 years. I noted. Yeah. Nick brought it into the chat last night.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, the playoffs have been going for
yeah.
I think, early 90s, I think.
I think what you might unintentionally be really thinking is the team that finishes 6th tends to beat the team that finishes 3rd in the semi-final.
Yeah.
But then doesn't necessarily win the final.
If I'm honest with you, I think what it is, he's going back 10 years. I don't know if you know, but when Cardiff changed their colours, their home colours in 2012, I personally boycotted it. Never went to a home game. I kind of switched off from UK football for a while. So I didn't kind of like follow the championship scene and the playoff scene for until before then, when Cardiff were always heavily involved in a playoff thing, But I maybe Blackpool were the last ones to finish 6th to get promoted, man.
You could well be right. Spencer Bronco says Cardiff look good in red.
Oh, hey, I honestly, mate, I was a season ticket holder for 13 years. I watched them. When I first started following Cardiff, they were 91st out of 92 league teams, right? There was 2,000 at the ground. I watched them through some tough times, honestly. But when they went red, they got promoted because that was the deal the owner had. And I've never seen Cardiff live in the Premier League because of it. And I hate the owner.
No, I get what you're saying, because to contextualise it for everyone, like, imagine if Tottenham decided to start playing in red shirts, or if Arsenal were like, our home kit's going to be white from tomorrow. Like, it's not right. It's not right. It's not natural. It's not the natural order in football.
Basically, I know nowadays our rivals are Swansea, obviously, everyone knows that.
Yeah.
But going back before the early 80s, even before my time of watching, our rivals were Bristol City, who wear red. And my argument was, listen, if he wanted, the argument he put forward was, he's from Asian background and red is a lucky colour. If you wanted to buy a red fucking team, you should have bought Bristol City. Anyway, that was years ago, but unfortunately, the guy is still at the helm of Cardiff. He's loaned the club money at massive interest rates, which is another thing championship owners tend to do with the clubs. And as a result, financially, the club, like many others, are now fucked because of the owners.
Russ, who got injured for Burnley today? Because was that a Ramsey? Is that the same guy or different?
No, it's different Ramsey. Different Ramsey.
Okay.
Ramsey, that he's back at Cardiff now.
Yeah. So for you, Brownie, you've been asked your thoughts on Ramsey and the badge change.
Aaron Ramsey, I love him to bits. Aaron Ramsey used to come on a supporters buses as a school kid and follow the team home and away. And yeah, he's proper Cardiff. Whereas Gareth Bale never went through the Cardiff system, you see.
Yeah.
He went through the Southampton system. Okay, he is a Cardiff lad. He come from Whitchurch, but Gareth Bale, his uncle played for Cardiff in the 80s, but he never went through the system, and I think that's why he didn't have the affiliation like Aaron Ramsey did.
I think Villa sold him, the guy you were talking about. Jacob Rat, I'm sure Villa sold him in a transfer window to fund some of their, or to free up space or something, whatever reason. Sorry to interrupt you there.
Well, no, Peter Ridsdale. I tell you, Peter Ridsdale. Showed Aaron. I know, mate. I know. But he showed Aaron Ramsey for pennies when he was at owner of Cardiff, simply because, like he did with Leeds, he spunked all the money, and it was days away from fucking going into administration. All of a sudden, Arsenal come up with an offer of $5 million cash for Aaron Ramsey. We actually had a better offer from Man United, but because it was over instalment period, he went with a fucking Arsenal.
He wanted the money now, kind of thing.
Exactly.
Oh God. So is it? So I kind of read from the same gentleman on the stoop last night. You sued Peter Ridsdale, or not you personally? I mean, supporters.
No. I didn't, but the supporters did many years ago. How, right? Again, the club was financially skint. We were going into the playoffs. We were in a good position. Come to the end of December, we're coming into the January transfer window. Everybody knows that we need bloody reinforcements, right? So he come up with a scheme, right? Peter Ridsdale come up with a scheme. It was a golden ticket scheme, they called it, right? And what he said is that if people buy the season ticket now before the January transfer window, that will give us funds for the transfer window, and at the same time, you can buy your season ticket next year for the same price, and we'll still freeze it for the next 5 years. But you need to buy it now. Thousands of people bought it before the January transfer window, yeah? During that January transfer window, they didn't sign one player.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so it went through like advertising. The supporters had like advertising standards agency or whatever onto it, and then they advised the supporters then that they could take him rather than a club, because the words come from his mouth. Take him a court for it.
My favourite transfer window story for my own team, and we did just watch Nottingham Forest beat West Ham. Entitled fans, West Ham, in my opinion. That Moyes took you from the brink of relegation, basically, won you a European trophy, you're 8th in the Premier League, and not good enough, apparently. But anyway, I digress. I think it was 2014. It was like January. It don't matter which transfer window, actually, whether it was summer or winter. But cut long story short, they put out the tweet. Obviously, this was when Twitter was in its infancy and football clubs were just getting into using football Twitter. Leeds Twitter account tweeted out, "Don't go to bed just yet. There's business to be done." I'll tell you what the next two tweets were. Or the next tweet was, "We've sold Dominic Polion to I don't know who we sold him to. We've sold Dominic Polion and we've sold Matt Smith to Fulham," or whatever it was. And it was like, why'd you make me wait up for that?
Yeah. No, I remember. Leeds as a club, they've always been they've always been held high in my regards. Over the years we've had Leeds and Cardiff have had certain disagreements and certain issues, but without doubt, a club the size of Leeds deserve to be in the Premier League. Absolutely deserve to be in the Premier League, and I think people don't realise just how massive, especially of the generations who remember them from the 70s, how big the fan base actually is.
There's a Leeds fan in every town on earth.
Absolutely.
There'll be someone.
Yeah.
There will be someone in that town that is a Leeds fan. And I know to a lot of Arsenal fans that sounds really silly and borderline laughable, but it is true.
Yeah.
You will find someone. The amount of people you hear like, they went to like Benidorm's not probably the greatest example, but like they'll go to Corsica and there'll be a Leeds fan there. There'll be one.
Yeah.
Just one. Like I'm not saying we have thousands in one place. There'll be
but
one.
It's one more in Cardiff.
Obviously, in London, in East London, I am the one. But
no, but
yeah,
I remember. Okay, maybe maybe in the 90s, but there used to be like supporters coaches. I'm sure it's like supporters club, league supporters clubs in Wales.
agree with us. Yeah.
I think. What do I think of Welsh rugby? Was that the question? I think.
Yeah, that was a question. Yeah.
I'm not really a rugby man, if I'm honest with you. There's a myth, if I'm honest with you. There's a myth that goes around saying Wales is a rugby nation. That may have been in the 70s, but nowadays there's more football, more supporters watch football than rugby. That's in live attendance or on TV. More kids play football than rugby, massively, double the amount, I think. There was a time my dad, his birthday was in February, and he was more of a rugby fan than myself. But for his birthday present, I'd always take him to a Six Nations game. And it'd be like our day out and celebrate his birthday at the same time. So I suppose that because he used to take me to football when I was a kid all the time, and he was more of a rugby guy, it was just the roles were reversed as he got older. So I kind of like got forced into getting a general knowledge of rugby, but I'm not a keen follower.
No, I understand that. You've got another question. They're all coming in for you. Do you support any team in the Parliament language, the Cymru League?
Cymru League, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah. Do I support a team? Not really. It's not really. I think Cardiff Met may be in there now, but no, not really. I mean, I followed. I still keep an eye out. Merthyr Town. Many years ago, Merthyr Tydfil years ago. They were in Europe and they beat Atalanta, Italy. I actually went to that game in 1987. They beat Atalanta, but they still in the English non-league system, not in the Cymru leagues. But.
I actually like the team you mentioned, Cardiff Met University, because I think it's quite unique that a university team is in a top. You got a lot, like I say, a top league, but in that country, the top league of the league system of that country.
To be, I think the same goes in Ireland. I think is a
there's Dublin has one, yeah.
Yeah, and I think it might be Northern Ireland as well. I don't know.
In Northern Ireland, in the league system, I believe the police have a team.
Well, they used to years ago in Welsh rugby, South Wales Police. Years ago, I don't know how many people got nicked if they went too rough on the pitch at that time.
Hopefully, they'd have some sort of understanding. What happens on the pitch stays on the pitch, unless you're Duncan Ferguson, obviously.
Yeah, look, I know. A Welsh who doesn't follow up, you'd be very surprised how many people in Wales don't follow rugby. It's a regional thing as well. It's a regional thing, as in it's more of West Wales.
Yeah.
You know, where like rural areas are more rugby dominated than the main towns or cities.
Yeah, like in England, obviously most people here will know what I'm saying with respect to them, but down south, like sort of, let's say there's a
It's a
sort of
class
line.
thing.
Above it is rugby league, and below it tends to be rugby union, right? I mean, there might be a bit of crossover, but generally speaking,
I think, to be honest, out of the home nations, and this is what I've seen on the ground that's going to the games. With all them years with my dad, but I think it's only Wales that rugby union is kind of like a working class sport. In England,
yeah.
I think it's middle class. In Scotland, it's definitely middle class, and in Ireland, it's middle class.
No, you're right. I associate rugby as being more of a. It's the sport that loads of rich people play at school
Yes, yes,
until they then go and get a banker job instead of like carrying it
yeah.
further.
Where you'd go to Twickenham, you go to Twickenham and not to watch rugby, but to make sure you seal a business deal.
Yeah.
It's like going to a golf course.
Met Police have a team. That's true. That is true. I know that is true. And that was the team I was thinking of. PSNI played, I believe, their third division in Northern Ireland because
Okay.
I follow their progress in Football Manager. So probably for the same reason that Riddy knows that they exist as well. With
Well, the
respect to
thing
them.
too, like Chile, it you got the two main teams in Chile, a Colo Colo and Universidad.
Yeah,
So you got, that's a random fucking random thing, but again, that come up in the Price of Football podcast I listened to the other day.
well, there's a South American team called Arsenal.
And
I forget
Everton.
which country it's in. Yeah, exactly. I could be right. It might be Uruguay or something like that. But obviously,
Everton, Everton for
because
the
of
anniversary.
the older football teams.
Well, for
Sorry, go
the
on, mate.
anniversary, Everton played Everton in a friendly. They had them over there doing one pre-season, and Everton played Everton. I think it goes
100%
back
happened.
to it goes back to
Argentina. There you go. Yeah,
now
it sounds right actually.
that during my incarceration, I created a football bucket list because I've gone to most of the bigger stadiums in the world, watching the bigger games. But number one, and number one, I don't care now. I'd rather do it before any, going to watch Cardiff. I'd rather do this before watching Cardiff again. It's I need to go to Bombonera to watch Boca Juniors River Plate. That is my number one on the bucket list.
Yeah. Riddy's right there. And yeah, that would be a spicy contest to go and watch.
I know. It's only little things, I've been I think I'm older than you, yeah. I'm 45, unfortunately.
Yeah, then yeah, you are slightly then.
Yeah, still got a brain of an 18-year-old, but I've done like San Siro, done a Milan derby, done a Rome derby,
Yeah.
Done all the main ones. But La Bombonera, because Maradona was my favourite player. By far, Maradona was my favourite player. And obviously he stems from Argentina Juniors and Boca Juniors, So, how about yourself?
They do.
Where would be the ultimate football experience for you?
I suppose to some degree I'd like to watch Newell's Old Boys because obviously that's the team associated with Marcelo Bielsa.
Okay.
So it'd be cool to see like where he he fronted the money to like build their training stadium or their training whatever it was. So they named the football stadium after him.
Right.
Like
Okay.
their stadium, yeah, Newell's Old Boys. I believe they're in the top division in
Yeah. Yeah.
Argentina.
News Old Boys.
But yeah,
Um.
Lionel Messi came through their academy.
Yeah. I think he in Buenos Aires as well. I think.
They're in Rosario.
Oh, right. Okay. I know Rosario got their own club, haven't he?
Oh, this is brilliant. Russ Morgan says Newell's Old Boys should play Young Boys at some point. Someone might tell me that'd be a bit one-sided, though. Certainly not PG. The Welsh and Scots love Maradona. What a surprise.
I know. Hey, no. Listen. Maradona.
He's a fantastic footballer.
He took that. He made that '86 World Cup, but also as well, I'm from a generation who, you know, loved the hard defending, and I'm convinced, you know, I'm looking at a football pitch here, St James's Park on the TV, and it's like carpet.
I know what you was gonna say because I have the same opinion. Like obviously, you always say that the previous generation had it harder, but it's literally true.
Yeah.
Maradona scored the goal, one of the greatest goals ever on a football pitch, which would not be allowed to exist today.
Oh, absolutely.
You would not. A World Cup match could not take part on Arthur Fowler's allotment.
and also, I tend to watch games of back on that World Cup, simply because it's I'm led to believe the first World Cup is always your favourite World Cup because that's what attracts you. And 86 mine. And every now and then, whenever I'm bored, I watch one of the games back. And I watch that England game, right? And it's not because I'm Welsh, it really isn't, right? But if you actually watch it and you see the brutal fouling England were doing on Maradona throughout that game, Terry Fenwick almost hit him into Rose's head, I don't know how many times.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of like poetic justice what he actually done to them with the goals then, But listen, Ronaldo and Messi gone on to the late 30s. Ronaldo's almost 40 now. But if their careers had to put up with your type of fouling, Maradona's, neither of them would have hit 30. Neither of them.
No, that you're almost certainly correct there. Cocaine Cowboy.
Well, go on. No, it's okay.
Phenomenal. No, it made me laugh. He's a phenomenal player. The thing is, there'll be a player that comes along that the next generation will sit there and say, "Oh, but Mbappe played on harder pitches than whoever it will be, like Jim Bob or Joe Bloggs or whatever." It's just a natural progression of things, isn't it?
Yeah.
But as like, you were saying,
or then people saying about George Best. I mean, but I don't know about you. I don't know about people in the chat. But what this bloody Messi and Ronaldo thing has brought up is more of fanboys rather than fans of a club. Have you noticed that?
It's like the NBA. It's exactly like the NBA. Social media has created a thing where it's just as easy to follow a player rather than a team.
Yeah. And it's so sad in a way. It's so sad in a way that people would rather follow a player rather than fall in love with a club. And the club you love for a club would be throughout your life. Your love for a player would be maximum fucking 10, 15 years of his career.
You know what I think the logic behind it is, though? It's because you know the pain you have, like when you grow attached to a player at your club and then they leave, but then you're still with the club and the player's off, like usually doing better things with respect to our clubs. Whereas for these individuals, it's a lot easier to just go, oh, whoever Lionel Messi plays for, I'll just watch Lionel Messi. I'll watch Inter Miami matches.
Yeah. I think that would have been the kind of like unique selling point of the Saudi league of getting the bloody getting Ronaldo. Or it'll come with the fanboys who follow them.
Yep. Because that's the NBA is a star-driven league. Like the big players go to the big teams, generally speaking, for the big money, and that's because the fans will watch that player, and they'll watch whoever LeBron James is playing for. He has millions of followers on Twitter, and the money that comes with that, and all this, and football is heading that way. And obviously, the first players that really created that were obviously Messi and Ronaldo.
Yeah, I agree. It. Well, I tell you what, Newcastle let me down on my acca today. For fuck, why? You know it. I don't know.
Their manager reminds me. Bournemouth manager reminds me of Trigger from Falls and Horses. I can't explain why. It does.
All right, now, boy.
Yeah, but it's like he's about to tell me about his brooms with like 14 mop handles and brooms.
Honestly, I loved Only Fools and Horses. But do you know the one scene where he falls by the bar?
Yep.
The actual barman used to be my neighbour, and he'd been in a few things over the years. But yeah, the actual person behind the bar was my neighbour for many years.
You must have heard some stories about the filming of that scene then.
Oh,
you must know it brick by brick by now.
Oh yeah, but he done so because he liked going to the pub. I've heard about fucking 30 different versions of it. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, oh, just leave it here, son. Leave it here. You had your fucking fame. You had your 5 minutes.
Really, before we go, just quickly, how confident are you that you're going to beat Newcastle next week? And comes out after going to see the goals go in. Well, I thought I did, but I blinked and then it was out. Okay.
About Newcastle, what are you on about Newcastle? Who's playing Newcastle next week?
Arsenal play Newcastle next week.
Home or away?
We're on the Arsenal channel, Brownie.
Well, you know,
I think it's Arsenal. I'm sure it's Arsenal because the away game was. Russ, I will definitely get you the link in a second.
Dodgy one, wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna take the opportunity though to dip out just slightly before it finishes because I originally had a stream planned all week, but obviously Ryan's bereavement in the family, and he said, "Did anyone want to take over the host of the show?" I was like, "I'll do it for the sake of people getting to hang out together and that."
No.
Well,
I think Arsenal will win a league.
I certainly can.
I thought about looking at it at 5-1, and then they beat Liverpool. You know, I think it just shows. The inexperience nowadays of Arsenal fans. They drop points, you know, in December, and they think everything's out of the window.
Have you got any shows coming up, Brownie?
I was going to. To be honest, I was going to do one tonight, but you do new lesson, so I may do it tomorrow. I went to a book launch today. So you know, my day today all over the shop, but I hit 2 million views the other day. I tell you what, the shorts are crazy, man.
Well, congratulations on that. That is pretty cool, in all seriousness. Well done.
Mental.
So I don't mean to sound so flippant about it.
No.
I promised the lads I'd be there at midnight. But yeah. So thank you for joining me, Brownie.
Nice to actually have a chat with you properly, you know. And good luck channel and everything, man.
No, thank you. That's very kind of you. I'm doing a lead show tomorrow night, and obviously anyone's welcome to propping the chat or whatever. But obviously, you being a fan in the same league, there will obviously be things that are slightly relevant to yourself, I suppose, or you have views on.
Hey, and if I don't speak to you, like this beforehand, all the best for the rest of the season.
You too. I'm sure your team will be fine, despite how bad things will look.
Good.
Hello, Moss. Just going now, mate, but thank you for popping by anyway. That being said, what am I doing? Yeah, so obviously, on behalf of Ryan, thank you for still supporting his channel, even when reprehensible individuals like me are sat in the hosted seat. So thank you for that. I wish you all a good night and take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.